Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the More Analytics Afternoon Energy Podcast for February 4th, going into the 5th. I'm going to start off with the natural gas. Left a near maintained gap higher on the day, but the day actually went out fairly bullish. I did not have a close buy suggestion here today, but a decent penetration above 35.76, 357.60 to 358.60 will warrant of decent strength. I don't have that as a decent penetration on here, but that's what I would use overnight. Decent penetration overnight is going to be 122 ticks. Maintain gap lower tomorrow. We'll leave a minor bearish reversal above. Okay, in the crude oil, we had turned bullish yesterday. I'm not going to go over all the higher time frame stuff in here. The trade back above 63.06, I said warned of strength, and we saw a run up to 65.53. Now I noted I had this line right in here at 64.69. We broke above there and fell back down through it decently, which now warns of pressure. Decent trade back above there will negate that pressure bias and reestablish the bullishness from the break above this line. If we further see a break back down below that line, that's going to warn of decent pressure as well. It's going to come in at, no, I'm sorry, that is not a line to short below. If we fail below this formation, that'll warn of decent pressure. That comes in at 61.56 plus 1.2 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A decent break below there will project this downward, $3.50 minimum, $6.10 plus maximum. But like I said, right now we're bearish here until we have a decent penetration above it. That would negate the bearishness and reestablish the bullishness from here. I would also be aware of this major formation up in here that comes in at 66.21 to 66.23 overnight. Decent penetration above that will project this up at another $5.50 plus. We'd really like to see a rejection off of that first before breaking above. That would make it a higher quality long. And the RBOB or unleaded gasoline, I'm not going to go over all the higher time frame stuff. The trade back above 185.05 brought in strength up to 197 today, and also had a bullish call above 189.81 as well. I would note that we held, and this is a key note to remember, we held this exhaustion level up here at 197.32. Now that was wrapped within this 196.45 to 785. I did not have a sell suggestion against it because I figured you get short anyway on the failure back below 195.42 to 73. However, I would also note that that is the final exhaustion level for this entire retracement move against this move down from 204.82 down to 169.78. So that is the final exhaustion level up there. And I would also note that we are within the time frame that to expect that this could hold more than temporarily. Now, if we blow up and take that out, settle above it, that's a sign of continued strength. And then that increases the likelihood that this will probably make a run up for 204.82. Now, we also have a significant formation up here, comes in around 199.06 to 199.02 overnight, and a decent penetration above there would have significant projections to the upside. But we really like to see a rejection off of that first before breaking above it, at least a third of an ADR. If we don't see the rejection first, there's a good likelihood if we break above it, a failure back down below it is more likely, and that would be likely be an excellent short. I would also note that this could also be another final last stretch of this move up from here, with exhaustion levels right in here at the same area at 199.22 to 199.05. So this failure back down, this could start a bearish correction. If we did see the bearish correction, the minimum projection would be down to 184.10. Like I said, if we come back up, we take out this peak and take out this, it's going to be it would be bullish in itself, but at the same time, this could be the end of this move up with this area right in here. If we take that out, then we're likely headed up to these areas up above. Sorry, we were along from the break above here, 185.05. $187.02, and then 189.81 for the run up to 197. And by the way, just to go back to what we were talking about yesterday, I had said that this RBOB to heat spread was strong, and that it was the leader to the upside over the heat, and really saw that today. As that rallied over 400 ticks, the RBOB to heat spread, affording you greater profit on your longs, being long the RBOB rather than the heat. Okay, the heating oil. I'm not going to go over the higher time frame stuff. The trade above 236.86 was the break back above here. Warned of decent strength. You've seen trade up to 247.58. And then the break above this line also has this bullish that came in at 243.78. Failure back down below that formation will warrant a decent pressure. That's going to come in at 244.26. Plus 8 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A decent penetration in there is going to be 300 ticks overnight. Further failure below this formation will also want a decent pressure. That's going to come in at 238.27 plus 4 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. And the Brent, the decent trade. Bear with me a moment. So the trade above 59.69 brought in $10.89 of strength. A number of other bullish calls in here. I said that those were off hold. Bearish calls in here. We're on hold. Decent trade back below this formation right here, which is going to come in at 66.15. Plus 1.5 per hour starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'll project this downward. $3.50 minimum, $5.80 plus maximum. Decent trade overnight in there is going to be 82. Decent penetration in there overnight is going to be 82 ticks. I would also note if we do take out the highs here, that would suggest we're in yet another last stretch of this move up from the lows, and I'd be aware of possible exhaustion up here at 72.04 to 72.69. And in the gas oil, I'm not going to go over the higher time frame stuff. It's a decent trade above 694.38. We'll warrant a decent strength. We popped above here today. Failure back below there would negate bullishness, but not necessarily be a line to be short, to lean against as a short. That line is going to come in at 695.18. Plus 8 per hour starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And your cadence going into tomorrow is the RBOB is the strongest out of the three. The heating oil in the middle and the crude the weakest of the three relative to one another. The maintain gap higher and the heat crack will leave a minor bullish reversal below tomorrow. We left a minor bullish reversal below today in the RBOB as well. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you have a good evening, and I'll see you on tomorrow's podcast.